children, it's Mrs. Lee here. How are you? Are you good? Brilliant. This is week 3 and it's assembly number 2. And Mrs. Lee would like to start off with the routine. Are you ready to come with me? Come on then, let's have a little look. Oh, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? Ah ha ha ha. I can see that the long hand, which is the minute hand, is on the 9. Now, oh, remember. Oh, I know. When the minute hand has gone past the 6, we say it's going to the hour. So I can count in increments of 5 from the number that it's on up to the 12 to find out how many minutes to. Can you do it with me? So let's count. 5, 10, 15. Oh, 15 minutes to. Let me think, Reflective Rex. Oh yes, I know when it's 15 minutes to, there's a better way of saying. Yes, that's right, quarter to. Quarter to what though? Well, I need to look at the hour hand. That's a shorthand, don't I, to find out what hour we're going to. Oh, we're nearly on the 10. So I put it all together and it's quarter to 10. 15 minutes to 10. Quarter to 10 at night. You should be asleep. And if you listen carefully to Mrs. Lee yesterday's assembly, I said to you, at 10 o'clock I go to bed. That's a rule, isn't it, in my house for me? So I would probably be brushing my teeth. That's a rule in my house. Must brush your teeth every night. Brush my teeth, probably getting my pyjamas on, taking off my clothes, pulling up my hair and getting ready for bed. What do you do? What's your rules in your house? I'd love to know. Come and find me on the playground. If it's quarter to 10 though, and it's daytime, then hopefully you are up and about and you are doing lots and lots of learning. Maybe you're starting to feel your tummy rumble a bit. Maybe it's nearly snack time. What else is on our routine? Oh, that's right. It's our language of the month, which is Tagalog. And we have 3 children in our school who hear that Filipino language, maybe at home, maybe they know some words. And if you don't know who they are, come down to Mrs. Lee's office just round the corner and there is a lovely display that the lovely Mrs. Shaw puts up, and it's got lots and lots of words on there and pictures, including a photograph of the 3 children in our school who hear and maybe say some of the words in Tagalog, which we know one of the words, don't we? That's right, kamusta, which means, that's right, hello. Right, one more thing on our board. We have got our Makaton sign. Do you remember? Put our hand, 1, 2, 3, and we are saying rules. There are rules. I asked you to think about your rules, didn't I, yesterday? Rules at home and rules at school and, oh, that's it. I remember rules are there to keep us happy and they keep us safe, don't they? Do you remember yesterday that we went and looked in the research centre and we looked at Antarctica, didn't we? Well, I want to think about Antarctica again today, and I want to think about where Antarctica is. Well, it's on our planet, isn't it? And I don't know if you know, but our planet, needs a lot of love. And there's some people that don't love our planet. So I'm going to take you in a moment outside my office, okay? And it's for a good thing, because I've put a few books there about our planet. And I want to think about the golden rule, which is to be kind and helpful. Can you see it over there? Where is it? Oh, it's right at the bottom. To be kind and helpful. Are you kind and helpful? Oh, I bet you are. I wonder if you could try to be kind and helpful about our planet, though. Right, I'll see you in 3, 2, 1. Hello children, it's Mrs. Lee here. I'm outside my office with our Save Our Planet display. We've been talking a lot this week about rules, and I think there should be a rule that says Save Our Planet. And I know lots and lots of people feel the same. On my display I've got lots of different books that you can come and have a look at. If you come and look at these books here, you do need to sit round here. Okay, so I don't want to lose these books. And some of them I will read to you in the next few weeks. Today, I'm going to start off first of all by looking at this globe just to make sure you really understand about where we're talking about. So we live in, do you remember, Huntingdon, which is in England, which is in the United Kingdom, and Mrs. Lee's finger is there. That's where you are. You're pretty much sort of near the top of the world, aren't you? But in Antarctica, you're right down here. All right, Antarctica. We call it one of the polar regions. There's two poles, one here at the bottom, one here at the top. We know this one is called the Arctic. We're not learning about the Arctic, that's where the polar bears are. We are learning about Antarctica, where we know there are penguins. Any other animals you can remember? That's right, there are seals, there are whales, and that big bird, the albatross. Okay, and lots of people have explored Antarctica and the Arctic. All right, but we're learning about Antarctica. Now, let me just put that in, hopefully that's going to stay there. Lots of these books here are talking about how people are not doing the right thing to save the planet. And is that a good thing or not a good thing? It's not a good thing. It's making me feel very sad. Sometimes I get a little bit angry as well. I went for a walk this morning with my dog before I came into school to do the videos, and outside on a beautiful piece of grass next to the river there was lots of rubbish where people yesterday had had a picnic, done lots of eating, and then just left their rubbish there. That made me cross. What should they do with their rubbish? That's right, put it in the bin. And if you can, like Mrs. Lee has a rule at home, take your rubbish home and separate it. So you put the things that can be recycled into the recycling bin, and the things that need to just take to the landfill go. Or you could even be even better than that and put everything that can be composted into a bin as well. Right, Mrs. Lee is going to share a book with you. This one is called, whoops a daisy, it's called Dear Earth. And if you look at the synopsis on the back, it says, when Tessa writes a love letter to the earth, it's the beginning of a glorious adventure. When I was reading this book, I love looking at the pictures. So I'm going to spend some time looking at the pictures with you. Some really lovely illustrations. Here we go. Dear Earth. When Tessa and Grandpa went walking, he would tell her about the earth. Grandpa had been an explorer once. He had seen many wondrous things and loved to tell Tessa about his adventures. As Grandpa talked, pictures were painted in Tessa's mind. She decided to write a letter to Earth. But where to begin? Start by writing Dear Earth, then let your imagination flow, said Grandpa. Dear Earth, Tessa began. The sea roared in the distance and Tessa continued to write. My grandpa has told me a lot about you and you sound wonderful. One day I'm going to be an explorer just like Grandpa. Most of your surface is covered in water. I want to dive into your deep oceans and see shoals of swirling fish. I'd blow bubbles with the whales and glide like a turtle. I'd love to explore your lands too, when the animals stampede. I'd run amongst them. My heart would beat as loudly as their thundering hooves. You are home to gigantic mega beasts as well as teeny weeny creatures. I want to skip through your meadows and kiss the butterflies, splash under waterfalls and float in blue lagoons. Part of you is frozen over. Ooh, do you ever feel the cold? Grandpa says the unicorns swim in the Arctic. You have a spine of mountains that tower over everything. Some of them have their heads in the clouds. I think that's my favourite phrase. A spine of mountains. What a wonderful way to describe all the mountain ranges. In the underwater forest of the mangroves, sharks keep their babies safe. I'd like to slide down the desert dunes, but avoid the prickly cacti. And when the bears go fishing, I'd watch and dip my toes in the river. Up in your rainforest canopy, I would join in with the screeching hullabaloo of the birds and monkeys. High in the sky I would fly with birds, soaring and swooping. Up, up, I'd go. Earth, you are full of such wonder, but you're fragile and you need love and care. Grandpa says humans have hurt you, but we can heal you too. The sea continued to roar in the distance as she finished her letter simply, love from Tessa. Grandpa and Tessa walked down to the beach together. I wish everyone knew how special Earth is, said Tessa. Do you think if people realised, then they would want to look after the world and keep it safe? Yes, I do, said Grandpa, taking Tessa's hand. Perhaps if enough of us share the message, we can save our dear Earth. And at the back of the book, there's loads of things about if you want to know more about saving animals and the different habitats that they live in. And this one's really good about things that you can do, like cleaning up, growing flowers. Mrs. Lee has been in her garden this weekend, and I've been growing planting lots of flowers to hopefully entice lots of bees to come to my home. So these books are down here outside Mrs. Lee's office, and I would love for you to come and have a little look at them. It might inspire you to think of things that you could do to really help save our planet. And we really do need to start doing things now. If we leave it would be really, really sad, wouldn't it? I was reading this book called World in Danger. There's lots of facts in there, and it talked about people breathing in dirty air. Ugh, yuck. Okay, so let's think about our rules about being kind and helpful. Make sure if you're walking around a school and if you see something on the floor, pick it up, especially if it's rubbish, and pop it in the bin for me. That's a really simple, easy thing to do. Can you do that? Of course you can. Right then. Hopefully you've been out on the field, and if you've been out on the field and you're playing near the willow, should you break the willow? No, again, that one of our rules, looking after property. If the willow is got a hole in it, please leave that hole. Don't make it any bigger by pulling it out and pushing it. You can run inside the willow, you can run outside the willow, but you're not going through it because that's not what it's been made for. There aren't holes for you to go through. Please don't do that. Please look after all our property. We're going to finish there, children, with our school prayer. Remember, we can close our eyes, put our hands together. Help me to do the things I should, to be to others kind and good. In all my work and all my play, to grow more loving every day. Amen. Bye.